Welcome to Snowmobile Sessions Live on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms. It's the #1 destination to learn about snowmobiling, network with other sledders, and have an awesome time doing it. We'll meet other snowmobilers that share your passion and show your fan photos along the way. Snowmobile Sessions Live. Enjoy the ride.
This episode of Snowmobile Sessions Live is brought to you by Energy Powersports. They're Oakville's full-line BRP dealer with sales and service to all BRP models and so much more. Energy Powersports always has the fun in store with a wide selection of clothing, parts, and accessories for all your powersports passions. Make Energy Powersports your source for Can-Am off-road, ATV, and side-by-sides. Can-Am on-road Riker and Spider, including the sporty F3S. Sea-Doo watercraft and Switch pontoon boats. And Alumacraft fishing boats powered by Mercury Marine. Put yourself on a Manitou pontoon or a Widescape stand-up snowmobile. Energy Powersports is the home for Lynx and Ski-Doo snowmobiles for the entire family. Do you feel the energy? Energy Powersports, 879 Cranberry Court, Oakville, Ontario, or online, energypowersports.ca. Fan photos are brought to you by Fast Trac Snowmobile Traction. This season, quit sliding sideways on the ice and losing races to your buddies. A Fast Trac Stud Kit will help you with improved braking and give you the arm-ripping acceleration you crave. I put over 3,000 clicks last season on my Renegade 850, and I'll tell you, these studs exceeded my expectations. Not one broken stud, my idle wheels still look like new, and they hooked up like I was on rails in the twisties, inspiring confidence every ride. Fast Trac Top Gun kits are the highest rated stud kit at 4.9 stars with over 230 reviews. The studs are heat treated stainless so they are strong and they don't rust. The kit is lighter, easier on the track, and has a lifetime warranty against breaking. Each kit comes with a track specific template for complete balance with over double the scratch lines from stock templates. All listeners when purchasing a stud kit can get a free install kit, a $30 value. Visit fasttrac.co, add both products to the cart, and use the coupon code SNOW at the checkout. That's FASTTRAC.co. All right. What do you think of that introduction there? We got a couple of new ones, new slides there.
Very nicely done.
That was nice.
Yeah, I had to get rid of Getaway Gary there where I was talking to myself. It was making everybody uneasy, I think. So we got a lot of people in the chat here. Corey Brock's in there, of course. He's got the blue wrench tonight. Pro Polaris Rob says, good evening, everyone. Joseph Seekert, he's got some pictures he sent in. He's a new fan, loving the show. We're loving having you here. Shoot My Shots, another one. Thank you so much. Just Fly Low. He says, what's up, Wisco Sledheads? He must be a buddy of yours. Renegade X, of course, he's around. Jeff Brown says, bring it. And we got Massard. He's here. Massard 850. Welcome aboard. It's good to put a face to your name, bud.
Yeah, it's awesome to be here. No place I'd rather be than on Monday.
And look at the set you created. I love it. You're right into it.
Oh, yeah.
Rubbing it in all day. Don't feel bad.
Yeah. And welcome aboard, Chris Weiland from Fast Trac Snowmobile Traction Products. How are you, Chris?
Absolutely. Good. How about yourself?
Great. So let's get on to Jacob. Tell us a bit about you, who you are, what you're riding there, and what's all the iron behind you?
Well, I'm Jacob Massard from a little old town in Wisconsin, a little Luxembourg, Wisconsin. Basically, I've been riding since I was about 5-6 years old on little sleds and stuff like that, and it grew into a passion where I got my own sleds, got my own stuff, and worked my way up. I had started off on kind of a big sled, but the first sled I've actually owned was a 2010 800 Renegade. Traded that in and got a 2011 XRS, and I've been hooked on an XRS ever since. Had that for a couple of years, and when the Gen 4 came out with the 850, that combo to me sounded like a rocket ship, and I ended up with the one right up here, and I've had that since brand new, and done a lot of stuff to it. A lot of memories, over 7,000 miles on it. The thing has been a rocket. It's awesome. More recently, I've been starting to get into the vintage game as you can see I got my, there we go. I got a 72.
It's a vintage sickness, not a game.
Oh yeah, it's once you get one, you all of a sudden want 5, and then you got 20, and you don't know what's going on. So I got my 72 335, and I got a 68 370 opposing, along with a caboose and a little Munising. So it's definitely a hoot and a holler, and I enjoy riding the old stuff just as much as I love riding the new stuff.
Yeah. So what do you like about the XRS as opposed to the other sleds that you've owned?
Basically just it's more of the running boards, the beefier shocks, the better quality of stuff. You can kind of just see it throughout. I mean, you look at some of the base model sleds, and I'm a young kid that likes to jump sleds, so I want something that's going to take the abuse. So this one is, unfortunately, this one might be out the door tomorrow because my 23 is at the dealer and is ready for me to take delivery of it. So,
right on. And what do you get for your 2023? For those that don't know,
I got a 23 Renegade XRS with smart shocks, 10 1/4 and 1.5 inches. So I got that ready to go. Put a pair of CNA XCSs on it right away, and we're going to try and see what happens.
Right on. That's good. So you like the Ice Ripper over traditional studs? We can kick you out right now.
Well, so I wanted the 1.5 inch paddle track more than anything. That's currently what's on this thing is 1.5 inch fully studded. So honestly, we might see it. It might be a season, and then I'll be calling up Fast Trac to see what we can do and get some studs under that thing. Make it quick.
Well, you can actually put Fast Trac in the Ice Ripper. That's probably the best of both worlds.
I
right?
might be making a purchase a little sooner than the wife thinks I will be.
Yeah, for sure. They're
we stud them all the time.
Yeah. I you know what? I did that with my Ice Ripper on my 800 Renegade, and it was the best thing I ever did, because the first time you go around a corner and she starts to scoot out on you, especially if you've got studs on that one behind you, you are going to notice a difference right away.
Oh yeah,
your butt's gonna pucker, and you're gonna be calling Chris right away.
Yep, I've had my last 2. I had studs on my first one. The second one, I had studs, started ripping them out. And I switched to no studs, and then I went back to studs. So I'm all over the board. I understand, and I have a hard time now having them again, especially with how much power these 850s and the big dog sleds put down. You need something to hook up, or else all you're doing is throwing snow out the back.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Totally true. So, and then we have Wisco sled heads up in the top right corner, and you're waiting for a new Skidoo as well, aren't you?
Yep, the wife is still patiently waiting for her 850 Renegade X package. So
nice. What color did she get?
All black.
Did she? Okay, I really like the yellow.
Fan of the yellow, so she went all black.
Yeah, I do like the yellow one, but I'm not sure if when you see the people posting on social media if too many people have ordered the yellow. You know? So.
Yeah. I'm not really too sure, but. I mean, her Yamaha Viper was all black, and I'm like, "Are you sure you want black again? All black? Are you sure?" And she's like, "Yep, that's what I want." So I was like, "Okay."
It matches everything, you know. That's what I like about it. So, yeah. So Denon says everyone's waiting for new sleds, and he's sitting there replacing every bearing, spring, bushing on his to keep it for another few years. Yeah. Oh. Uncle Buck says it best. He says no studs is like riding on ball bearings. You know. Yeah, Sled Chick 96, that must be your better half. She says she's more like impatiently waiting. I know. Yeah. I know the feeling.
Where's my sled?
Yeah.
Where's my sled?
Yeah. I want to get mine in the garage before it gets too cold, and then I won't freeze my fingers putting in the Fast Trac studs.
Yeah.
So I know this year for sure the dealer Energy is going to put the tunnel protectors in for me. I'm not doing that job again.
You sure? I watched that video. It was a good time.
It was a horrible time. And the worst part is, so it came late, like came like the weekend, like just before New Year's, I think it was, or maybe it was Christmas Eve, somewhere in there. Anyway, it was a busy time. And then because he's family and everything. And then I had it in the shop, and then it turned really cold and we started getting snow. And then Corey and I decided we're going to go to Kirkland Lake. So then the pressure was on. So I had to do everything. So we're talking tunnel protector, studs, illuminated LED handguards, E-Link. The list goes on and on and on. And I ended up making all these videos on it. And the Sony camera has this, C001 to, 243. And then I loaded on the car right away, head to Kirkland Lake, and get to Kirkland Lake. And I took my backup drive with me and I started dumping files. Then we went for our first ride up there, and I dumped all those files into the same folder, not realizing that they wrote the same numbers because I had already cleared it out, deleted a whole whack of installation footage.
Oh.
It's time to redo with the new one.
So we, those are the perils of production, I guess you could say. So no, and then how about you, Chris? You got a new sled coming, or you? I know you sent me a picture of one there. What are you looking for? Yeah, is it really? You can't fall in love with these things,
No, I'll probably be looking to upgrade. I didn't get too many. I only got one trip on last year, so I only got 1,100 miles on my machine. So I'll probably wait it out another year. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Is there still lots of good deals out there? I know prices are coming down a bit.
From what I've seen, yeah, it looks like there's some deals out there if you're willing to hunt. But I think it's going to be another year or two until things start really getting back to normal as far as pricing goes.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right. You could buy Jacob's sled there, the XRS back there. It's a good one. We'll sell that tonight. The guy that's coming tomorrow to pick it up.
It's wife driven, never beaten. Is that the right words for it?
Then I won't
wife driven, low miles, never rolled.
I won't show that picture later where you're jumping 20 feet in the air with it. We'll just
that was a stunt double.
Was it? Okay. That was from the magazine, was it? The magazine.
Has to be.
Mike Goulet says he's above all the studs around him. And Corey says the only studs on his sled is the one that's sitting on the seat. Yeah. So Brad Hitchcock says Chris and his dad are some of the best people you can deal with for studs. I've used them for 25 plus years with absolutely no problems. How's that, Brad Hitchcock?
Thank you, Brad. Appreciate your nice words.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Good fan of the show, too. So, no, that's cool.
Absolutely.
So we got a game. Before we get into the conversations and everything, we got a little game we're going to play. And I'm glad that Dominator's in the house because he's going to enjoy this little game. So I asked Wisco Sledheads to do some homework for me. And we're going to play a little game called Am I Smarter Than a Smart Shock? Right? And we got another guest that's just called in, and the guest. I'll just bring this guest on screen now. Oh, here's the guest.
I am smart shocks. I am smarter than Porter.
Hey, those are fighting words.
I make love, not war.
Oh, come on. Okay, this guy thinks he's smarter than I am. So anyway, so Wisco's got some names. He's some Wisconsin names from the UP and also the lower. And he's going to post them in the chat. And then I'm going to try and pronounce them. And then we'll see what Smart Shock says. And then we're going to he's got 10 names. And we're going to see if I am smarter than a Smart Shock or who's smarter. So if you guys in the chat want to let me know how many you think I'm going to get right out of 10, take a guess. We'll see who's closer. There's no prizes. Just, this is just all for bragging rights.
On this one?
Pardon me? Sorry, you were cutting out there.
Oh, I was going to say we're not going beer for beer on this one?
We can put some Busch lattes in the mix on this one here.
Oh, yeah,
Where did the Smart Shock go? There we go. I don't know why the Smart Shock's hiding on me. I think he's getting chicken. So we'll see what happens here with the old Smarty Shocks. Here, I got to figure out where the best view of Smart Shocks is on screen here. It's got to be that one. There we go.
There you
Chris
go.
is down at the bottom. No, Greg Kelly says no prizes. Come on. Oh, we'll see what happens. I'm going to win anyway, so it's not fair. I'm going to give myself a prize, right? So, All Terrain TV was checking out Fast Trac Studs last night. Nothing for vintage racers that he found. You got anything for vintage racers, Chris?
Yeah, we might have some unpublished stuff. Some what are you looking for?
Yeah, let us know what you're looking for, All Terrain TV, and you can even shoot Chris an email. He'll announce his best way to contact him later on the show, and we'll make sure you guys get in touch. And away we go. Okay, so if you got the first one, we're going to start easy to hard. Have you got the first one loaded up there?
All right. Yep. This is right in Massard's territory. So
we'll see if it's an easy one or
oh,
not.
that was a private chat. Whoops.
That was. Is it? If it's in it, put it in the public chat so people can see.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Well, that's an easy one.
It's an Exciter with a 1/16-inch track. What size lugs on that there, All Terrain TV? I thought that was the name of the town, Exciter 1/16-inch. There we go. Oh my goodness, this is a hard one. Hold on, I gotta send this one over to Smart Shocks, and then we'll I can pronounce it. All right, so it looks like Ashwaubenon.
He's close.
Ashwaubenon. Okay, let me
close.
see what Smart Shock
Close.
says here. Okay, I'm close. Let
You're
me just see
close.
what Smart Shock says here. Smart Shocks is thinking about it, I think. He's pretty logical. I don't know.
Ashwabino.
He said Ashwabino. Is that right?
No,
Ashwabino.
Who was closer, me or Smart Shocks?
I think you were.
Yeah, you were closer.
I get one. Okay, well, how do you say it there?
Ashwaubenon.
Yep,
Ashwaubenon.
Ashwaubenon?
Yep.
Ashwaubenon. Okay, perfect. What's the second one here?
All right.
Gary 1, Smart Shock 0. Point for Gary, Joe says.
There's number 2.
Mech 1.
Oh. I don't
Wow.
even-
Did I get
You don't
that
even have
one?
to put
You
it
got
in.
that one.
Nailed it.
That's,
Did I nail it?
That's
Oh,
dead
wait,
on
we
the head.
gotta see if Smart Shocks ties me. All right, we gotta be fair. You know, we gotta be fair to Smart Shocks. He might pull one out on me here. Maybe it's a learning thing. These Smart Shocks got to learn how the towns are.
Mekwan.
Mekwan, he says.
Tie.
We tie, so it's 2-1 for Gary. I didn't know he was competing with a shock. Yep, I am. It's not a shock, it's a Smart Shock. What do we got here for the third?
All right, I'll give you that one.
All Terrain TV's in Ashwaubenon.
Hey, you're saying he was in Green Bay
This
area
one, this
last
one's a trick. This one's a trick one.
It is.
Gillette. I'm going to say Gillette. Let's see what Smart Shocks has got to say about this one. Is it French influence in the UP?
Gillette.
These are Wisconsin.
Gillette, he said, like the shaver.
Gary, you got that one right.
I was gonna say it's not quite like the shaver. It's more that Wisconsin accent.
Yeah, I got that one right. 3-1. Gillet. That's what Dominator says. Dominator, you got to cut my Canadian accent out of it. That's the whole thing. There's a little bit of trick to this. Okay, next one here.
All right.
They're getting harder as we go. 10 is the ultimate hardness here.
All right, there's the next one. That's a tricky one.
Dominator says I would have gotten that one wrong. Oh, there we go. Oh, this one, somebody had sent pictures in on this one before. Hold on a second here. Manitowoc.
Oh yeah.
Huh? No, bastardized it.
You gotta say it a little quicker. That's where you.
Manitowoc.
There you go.
There you go.
Manitowoc.
Ooh,
That's.
I think
Smart
he's got
Shocks, I
me.
think, had that.
Manitowoc.
Yeah, I think I'll give it to Smart Shocks.
Gary didn't say it fast enough.
No, I think he's got it. Terry Tupaw says he's been on the ferry before. Is there a ferry there?
USS Badger.
Yeah,
It's a
nice.
Little ferry to go across from Manitowoc or Manitowoc, Sheboygan area to I can't remember where, but Lower Michigan on the other side.
You probably blew the next name, did you?
Nope.
Manitowoc. Awesome. Ferry from Manitowoc to Michigan.
All right.
So, so it's 3-2 now.
All right. This is a UP one. So.
Oh, these are the tough ones. Holy. Oh, Lake Gogobic. We've had this one on before.
Gogobic.
Yeah, Gojabic.
What?
Gogagabic.
They should really have a hyphen in between go and the last and Gibic.
Hold on, let's see what Smart Shock says about this one. This one's a tough. I don't think Smart Shocks is going to get this one. There's no way. No way.
Lake Gogebic.
Nailed it.
Got it.
Wow.
Nailed it. What? 3-3. We're tied. Go Gigbic, Throwing Spark says. Go Geebic. It's Go Geebic. Right?
Lake Gogebic.
Lake Gogebic.
That's it.
I'm not even gonna say a Wisconsin name anymore. I'm just gonna get Smart Shocks on the show when anyone sends pictures in. Ludington is where we get off its cool old boat. Yeah. Nunzio says I'm pooping the bed, Gary. All right, next one.
All right, another UP one.
Oh, geez.
If I spelled that right, but
Well, it helps if you spell right.
yeah, well.
Hold on a second here. I gotta get this over to Mr. Smart Shocks here. It's got to go out in the garage where the Smart Shocks are, and then we can. I think it's Keweenaw. What do you think, boys?
It's the mother lode for the UP. A lot of off trail riding up in that area.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
It's a nice peninsula.
Sure. Hold on. Did we get this one over yet? Yeah, we did. For some reason, Smart Shocks didn't recognize it. Maybe it's too smooth a territory for the old Smart Shocks. It needs more rougher terrain. Here we go. Ready?
Keweenaw.
Keweenaw, he says.
Yep.
And I said Keweenaw. Where's the accent lie?
Smart Shocks.
Commentary had it pretty close in the chat.
Who do you think got that one? Was it a tie or was it?
No, that was Smart Shocks, I think.
4-3.
I got one, Justin. I'm gonna see if you can figure this. This one is gonna be good luck with this one.
All right, I got one more for him. Then after that,
Yeah.
Kitchitty Kippy. I like that.
don't feel bad because I can't pronounce that one either.
I should have put a fan photo from that one. It's a natural spring right in Michigan.
It's called Big Springs.
Yep.
Is it? So if
Yeah,
I said Big Springs, I'd win. Chris, how do you say that word? Do you see it on screen there? Kitchitty Kippy. Kitchitty Kippy.
Yeah.
Kitchitty Kippy. Here we got. Listen up. Here it is. Should we actually? Is it really hyphenated in real world?
I believe so. That's what I pulled off the internet. So
Okay, here we go. He said it, but
Kitchitty Kippy.
Kitchitty
kind of
Kippy.
close.
I think I got it better than him. How do you say it there?
Kitchititimpi.
Oh, we both failed on that one bad.
Yeah, that one's not.
That one is.
So Smart Shock still has me at 4-3.
All right, Justin, you got to get him up there.
All right.
Give me
How many do we
something I
got
can
so
win here.
far, Gary?
We've
4-3.
had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's 4-3.
Okay.
We must have 8. No, we've had 7, and it's 4-3.
Here's 8.
Oh, we tied one. It's Presqu'Île. We have a Presqu'Île in Ontario, but that looks like Presque Isle, like an island.
Which one is it?
It's Presque Isle.
Okay.
Is it?
Let's mark
Okay. We'll see what he says. We'll see what Smart Shock says on this one. We got this. Ready?
Presqu'Île.
Presque Isle.
It sounded more like Presque, or not even Presque. They didn't have the K in it.
Presque Isle. Presque Isle. I think we both tied on that one. I got that one. Okay, it's 4-4 then.
I would say Gary had that one.
4-4. We're getting there. I thought it was going to be a lot further away. I thought the Smart Shocks is going to kick my butt. So I'm holding my own, fighting back here.
If you don't get this one, Gary, the Youpers are going to come after you with pitchforks, riding wheelies. They're going to be upset. So here's the last one.
Hootin'. I'm going to say Hootin' on that one. I thought you said you were going to put different. Is it Hootin' or Houghton? Hold on a second. I'll think about this. I think it's Houghton. How's that? I'm going to go with Houghton on this one. Not really fair to Smart Shock, because I'm really taking a couple stabs at these things. Let's see what Smart Shock says this one is. Ready?
Houghton.
Smart Shock's got it.
Yeah,
Houghton.
Houghton.
Yeah. Denon says Hot Ann. Houghton. So Smart Shocks, we tied. Because I was ahead of them there, right? So do we have a tiebreaker town?
Oh, I got a few.
How about Dominator? Post a name in the.
Oh yeah, Dominator, pick a good one.
Dominator, pick a town name, and we'll use that as a tiebreaker.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one.
Oh yeah,
that's a tough one.
I've had a lot of bush lights there.
Dominator's killing it. Neil Owen says Escanaba. Okay, so I'm gonna go Minocqua. We're gonna see what Smart Shock says. Hold on. Smart Shops, you better screw this one up, or I'll never ride you on a smooth trail again. Here we go. Ready?
Minocqua.
He did
at the end of it.
He did. He blew it.
I think Gary got it. I think you edged.
Wow, I won. I'm smarter than a Smart Shock. There you go. What's with the goofy names? Corey says. Is it native influence, or is it what is it? What do you think?
I would say it's a lot of native influence in Wisconsin. We got a lot of native tribes and stuff like that in the northern part, and all these random names. Either that, or else they had way too much bush light when they were naming names. That could be. I'm going to post one here to the contest is over, but I'm going to give the one that All Terrain TV posted there to the Smart Shocks. See what
Oconomowoc.
Well, that's pretty close.
Is
that's
it?
Pretty good.
Oconomowoc.
Hey, they're not called dumb shocks; they're called Smart Shocks. All right. It's a tough competitor. Don't you agree? So there you go. Now, Don, I think Gary got it. I'm smarter than Smart Shock. So, yep. Thank you guys. Dominator. Now you can have total respect for me and my Wisconsin pronunciations. I'm doing the best I can. It's always good to have.
As long as you don't have us do French stuff when we get up in Canada this year.
Yeah, we might do a spinoff live at the Sportsman's Lodge. But thank you too for coming up too. I really appreciate it. I'm so excited. Chris, these guys were one of the first team to book at the Sportsman's Lodge for our February group ride, and there's a team of 5 of them coming up from the United States, and we're going to show them a good time up here in Canada for sure.
Couple
Very
guys,
nice.
please. It'll be a fun. What is it? 10-hour ride, 10 and a half.
Yeah, make sure you have burritos
out from my house.
Serve those burritos up as you go in there. So Dominator, give me the 100, Gary, and Mike Goulet is clapping for me, so that's really good. So that's good. I'm glad I won. I thought I was going to get blown out of the water there. Fun little game, though. Yeah, fun little game. So, A for effort, Wisco Sledhead says. So that's good. He's talking to the Smart Shocks, not me.
Exactly.
Right? So, yeah. So Chris, this show's about fast track performance and Chris. And so what's new in your world, Chris? What do you got going on? What's anything exciting coming down the pipe from Fast Trac?
Yeah, we're working hard on getting this a new lime green color out. Anytime a new color comes to play, it's not just you put the coloring in. It's a whole ordeal to get the thing manufactured, and then you gotta hope that the colorant doesn't attack the resin itself. And so our first attempt at it was very close. We had probably like a 2 or 3% failure rate as far as getting these things. And we always go for 100% no break. So we're gonna give another run at it in a couple of weeks here and see if we can get these things out to the market before the season ends in a limited fashion.
That's awesome. What's the green matching? Is it an Arctic Cat or is it a Skidoo green? What color palette are you trying to hit?
So I got a ski hoop from Skidoo in the Manta Green, and then I pulled a graphic from Polaris in the new lifted line, which is on all the boosts. And so we're trying to hit like pretty much in between that. And I mean, it's right there. It looks really good. Even the older, like more fluorescent lime on the Polaris stuff, it still matches very well. And sometimes with the colors, you get one, it'll be the same color like green and like the fluorescent stuff, and it kind of clashes and you don't want to really run it. Orange can be like that too, but no, it's an awesome green, and really it's been on the to-do list for a good 2-3 years. We have plenty of resin this year, so it was just more the colorant came a little bit later as far as sampling goes, and now it's we're right there. We'll see if we think we have what it'll take to get it to go, but there are colorants that are not compatible, and we've aborted different colors before, so fingers crossed on this one.
Now, do you mix the dyes up, or are they stock dyes where you say, hey, I want 156 green, or is it something where you have to actually mix blue and yellow and, just keep going back and forth with the amount you put in?
No, it's you have the colorant custom made, and then you kind of mix it in with the resin. It's not like a liquid or anything. It looks like a plastic pellet, but it's all custom to us, and all the materials and stuff. So we'll see. I mean, plastic's a tough one. There's a reason most companies don't make plastic, or it's a secondary product, where we make it our standard product and don't even make an aluminum alternative because we're so confident in it. So we have excruciatingly high standards. We know the material better than anyone else, and we know how to put it through the paces. And I'm sure we've put other competitors' products through the paces, and it would fail our test. So just knowing that we put out a product that won't fail our test is what we go for every time.
How's the just speaking by example, this year we had when I ordered my CNA skis, obviously it's vice versa. I mean, I'm talking skis. They had a hard time getting the color this year for ski loops. Like, I believe you can't even order a colored ski loop unless, like, right from CNA, you have to buy it secondhand, whoever has it in stock.
Yep.
How are you guys doing on keeping all that stuff in stock and everything like that for all your colors?
Colors is not a problem at all for us. I mean, we buy colorant goes a long while, so one purchase lasts multiple years. So, we haven't had any issues getting any colors. We had to repurchase a few colors this year, but everything came in no problem. So right now we had some stocking issues last year, and we never really got into color being our backers. We always had a good enough supply. It was more the studs, but the studs this year, all of our Top Gun 2s in stock, and we just ran out of the 1375 SPs, but we're close. That was just, we ran out of buffer stock, so the rest of the season's materials right on the edge of finishing production. So I think once we get past this season, we'll be past this whole mess of supply.
Everything will kind of just start back, you start getting what do you want to call it, a back stock of it or something like that. Something so you have enough stock for.
Yeah, we really haven't had a buffer stock for 2 or 3 years, and any buffer stock, it just doesn't last through the season as long as it goes. So it's just constantly refill. But we're hopefully this is the last year. We're kind of on pins and needles, but we've done a very good job this far. And finally, we're getting our 1625 single ply stud, which we weren't able to get last year just because our material was destroying our mold. So we ran late, and then we had to prioritize the more popular sizes, and unfortunately that one was the casualty. But happy to say we grabbed them back today. So that was a long one.
Yeah. So tell people that maybe not have caught the show from last year, it is a small family-run business. Talk to us about the start of. Give us a recap of how it started and how many people you have working for you now and who you have working for you now, if you can, and fill us back in on those details.
Yeah, sure. So it was a family business. It started out with my grandfather and my dad started around 1989. My dad sold a cigarette boat to fund the company with his first purchase of product, and that's been going off ever since. We are the first to bring the 5/16 shank that everyone uses in every single stud on the trail nowadays, and first to really make stainless steel material to use for studs, and first to really take plastic or polymer and make that a feasible thing as well. I know a lot of people, they kind of say they lean to steel or aluminum, but we haven't seen steel or aluminum skis on a new sled for quite some time.
Good job. Yeah, so you want to get in some fan photos, and we'll talk about more as we go along here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
That's cool. Let's do it. Fan photos are brought to you by Fast Trac Snowmobile Traction Products.
Don't let them go to waste.
Check out fasttrac.co. Use that coupon code SNOW and we'll get you a free toolkit. $35 value there. Put it in your shopping cart. So there we go. We're going to get right into this. We're throwing this up here again because the main lodge is sold out, but you can get into the Energy Powersports Tower of Power still. And that's at $150 Canadian per person per night. It's February 17th to 20th. You can hit there on the 16th if you want. And includes a home-cooked breakfast and dinner. And nightly, daily, morningly, whatever it is. So there we go. Space is limited. I don't know where we're at now. Jim left a message for me today, so he might have been telling me it was all sold out. Who knows? But I'll have an update for you guys next time and next show, and away we go. But yeah, so 705-853-4434. Just make sure you tell Jim that you're in the Snowmobile Sessions group, and he'll take care of you well. So there we go. So Joe is a new viewer, and he says, hold on, I got to get my notes up here. How am I going to do this? Anyway, Joe says he's new to the show, and let me see if I can find my notes here. Hold on. Bear with me. I had to get all the Smart Shocks copy going here. So there we go. He says, hey, Gary, new to the channel podcast. I'm going back and forth watching the live videos and podcasts. Loving everything about it. Keep up the good work. Just wanted to share some of my favorite photos and some pictures of my setup and stuff. Just a little background on me and my story. I've been a snowmobiler nearly my entire life. He spent 5 years in the U.S. Army. Thank you for your service. He was in the Army from 2006 to 2011. So he had to kind of put his passion on pause during that time. When he got out and moved back home to Wisconsin, that passion came back immediately. He bought a 2005 Sabre Cat, which you can see here. It's a 700cc with next to no miles on it. He rode that for around 45 years, 4 or 5 years, not 45. So, and during that time, he met his future wife, who told me he was insane for enjoying the sport of snowmobiling. Anyway, she got curious about it and purchased a 2006 MXZ 550 fan. That's another great sled there. And we began our snowmobiling journey together and haven't looked back. They got married in 2019 and decided to upgrade that year to a 2015 Polaris Switchback 800, and she got a 2020 MXZ Sport 600. 2 more great sleds. Turns out she got pregnant there after the wedding. Oops, in December, and we didn't get much riding that year. So the 2020 Mrs. Wisco Sledheads better not get pregnant this Christmas. And we didn't get that much ride to do this year. So 2020 season, we were both looking forward to a ton. We rode as much as we could, and she just didn't like her sled. So last year we traded that for a 2021 Polaris Indy SP600, and she fell in love again. Can't wait for the snow to fly. Hope this wasn't too long-winded and you can enjoy some of my pictures. Thanks again. Keep up the good work, Joe Seeker. Or Saker. I probably should have let Smart Shocks pronounce his name. But yeah, there's a couple of sleds.
I was going to say that dealer looks like Road Track and Trail down in New Berlin or McGuanago or somewhere down there that way.
He's in the chat, so he can probably let you know if that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are some of the scenes that he's seen. I just seen this bridge is awesome.
That's Houghton right there. That's
Houghton.
That's Houghton.
Houghton Hancock.
Yep. That's to get across. That's the only way to the upper Keweenaw.
And that's the highways on top and the sled trail runs underneath.
Yep.
What used to be there? Was it actually a train track or what was that?
I'm not sure exactly, but they put I know they put mats down every year when they get enough snow, and that is the link to get up to the UP, because it's basically the upper Keweenaw up into Calumet and Copper Harbor and stuff. That's landlocked, or an island. There's literally one and only one way to get up there, and that's across that bridge. So it's a very cool experience. I got to experience it 2 years ago, and I'd love to do it again.
That's pretty cool. I want to see that area.
Never done it either, so
it's definitely a beautiful, beautiful area. Uh-oh, technical difficulties. I guess it's a beer break time, right?
Yeah. I was going to say, I've been just about everywhere in the UP. The only place I haven't been is pretty much north of Mass City. So that Houghton, Hancock, Keweenaw area, I haven't got up there yet. So
check one. I think I'm back.
You are back.
A lot of technical difficulties. You guys need a beer.
Yeah, I think I'm back.
Yep.
Jeez. I don't know what's going on, but we'll just keep rolling here.
You're double back now.
Is this a scary thing? We can see two of you. I didn't think I had that many bush lights yet.
It's so delayed. Just wait a second here. I'm going to try something here. Hold on.
I was gonna say I'd love to do that Houghton trip like in the middle of the week because I heard either that trail is great or it's awful.
I was lucky enough. I went in early January, so there wasn't a ton of traffic. It was a little lower snow conditions, so it would have been nicer to have a little more snow up there. But for what it was worth it and then some. Unfortunately, we went during COVID, which, like every other place in the world,
we did the same thing.
Was hard to get food, hard to do a lot of things. We made it work. We did a lot of firsts, ate outside. We started a fire. We did a bunch of stuff. It was a lot of cool to do. It was really cool to do a lot of different experiences that I've never done before. So
yeah,
it's definitely
it's definitely nice to ride out of the cottage, but it's always fun to go experience all the new places and see new things. And
yeah.
So can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Everything you got
Okay,
picture.
awesome.
You're in the frame. Yep.
I think we're good. I probably sound like crap, but we're kicking it old school here. So yeah, I love that bridge. I seen pictures of it on Facebook recently, and it's like that's a good bucket list item there, for sure.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah. So
It's beautiful at night too.
is it?
Oh yeah.
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 So this must have been them going away for the adventure. Maybe that's where she got pregnant, is all the snowmobiling they did. And that must be her new Polaris. Love it. There he is pulling in the garage. Love the trailer too. He stealth trailer there. Yeah. We lost Jacob now. What's going on with everything here? Oh, he just shut his camera off. Maybe he had to go get another Busch Latte. There he is.
Oh, don't worry. I got him stacked right in front of me. So
love it. Love it. They got the auxiliary LED lights there, lighting everything up.
Those are cool.
Yeah.
I just set on my buddy's sled and they turned out awesome.
Yeah, nice. Nice. So then we got Rob Reinhardt here. You know him.
Oh yeah, you saw him last night. He helped set this up.
I know, he's awesome. It's good. Was it Rob? No, this is Rob Overholt.
Oh,
same sled though, eh? Doesn't Reinhardt have an XRS like that?
No, he's got a 16 Blizzard, kind of like Pasty Boy's old one.
Oh, does he really? Cool. Okay, Rob Overholt says, well, the first snowfall of the year that dropped 2 feet of snow down in my town, I was able to get out for a first ride. My buddy upgraded for a 99 Arctic Cat to a 2004 Skidoo GSX 800, and he loves it. The pics by the bridge are at the Peace Bridge crossing over Buffalo, where some of the places got 77 inches of snow. Bring on the season. Brap on. Yeah, so. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of good snow. Like, look at that. And I was in Ottawa, and they hardly had anything in our nation's capital, 5 hours away. But when we drove home, and yesterday, and I'm telling you, we drove through zones where it was like they got a dumping, and then a few miles down the road, there was nothing. And then a few miles down the road, another dumping. You know, it was just in and out of the zones, the squall zones all day. So it's pretty crazy.
It's crazy what lake effect can do and stuff like that. You could go 5 miles and go from 0 feet to 2 feet.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Look at the snow on the right there where he's sitting by the bridge. I don't know whether I'm covering that up or not, but look at that.
That's nice.
That's pretty crazy.
Could use some of that.
I know. So that's the Peace Bridge. Nice. See, that's why I was thinking it was someone from Wisconsin. I thought that was the Keweenaw Bridge or Keenewa. I need to see the name to pronounce it correctly. But yeah, that's what I thought that was. So, and then these are your pictures, buddy. Tell us what we're looking at here.
Well, this was at our radar run. As crazy as it sounds, I should have uploaded my other one, but way in the background, there's a bunch of guys. That was my old 11 XRS in the picture, and a guy that had my 2010 800 Renegade was all at the same place. So every snowmobile I've ever owned has been in the same place at the same time, which was crazy to say. But
that's pretty wild.
This is a little group that we usually ride with, minus the 72. That's obviously sitting right behind me with the Scaboose and stuff like that. That's Rob Reinhardt has the yellow 06 600 SDI on the upper more corner. Yep.
Yeah, right there. Nice.
Yep. That literally just got a new heart this last year. Not because it needed it, but the gaskets were going out, and I think it had, he'll correct me, but I think it had 11 or 12,000 miles on it when we finally replaced the heart in it. So
Yeah,
that one's been around the block a time or two. And then the other one sitting next to my 18 would be my dad's. My dad said he bought off of me because I ended up traded it for a four-wheeler I had back in the day. I tried the four-wheeler game, wasn't a fan of it. I like skis and tracks, so traded for that, and that thing's got just about 13,000 clicks on it right now.
Right on.
That's on. Full 5600 SDI, so we're
nice.
We got a couple old dogs, we got a couple new dogs, and they're all awesome.
Yeah. And that's a 338 twin, that 72 you've got there?
335.
335? Nice.
Single.
Yeah.
Single longer. Shakes like no other.
Oh, really? Single cylinder. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, love it. There's Rob there.
Yeah, that's Rob. That was a heart transplant. He was pretty emotional that day. He did a little thing where if his son bought the motor, he would give his son that snowmobile because he's got his 16. And so I got a couple other pictures I didn't upload, but I got pictures of him fake crying and stuff like that, giving the motor over, kind of like a sign of here's a snowmobile. And so we it's all fun and stuff like that. It's a couple beer job, switch a motor out, stuff like that. So
well, that's the thing. The revs weren't too bad to work on still, right?
No.
They're a little bit tighter than the older ones, but you could still access everything, right? What's that? What's on your 72? What's the little red? I see the other one says money well wasted, the sticker on the hood, which is good advice. What's the other sticker say? Is it clean enough to read on national TV?
It says world's greatest recreational vehicle.
Right on.
Yeah, that's cool. World's greatest recreational vehicle, along with the money well wasted.
That's cool. That ski boost is is that a Mark 1?
Mark II, 72 Mark II.
70. So it's got the snap-in seat. Like that's what mine was. I think it was the smaller one.
Yep, that's the bigger. The Mark II is the bigger one, and it's got the snap that goes around the back side of it. I don't have that. When I got it, I think I had a picture in there that was how I received it. It was not.
You do it.
Yeah, it was pretty
Right
bad.
there.
So
yeah.
That's how I got it, and literally the difference in those pictures that from the one that you just saw to this one was 1 week.
Really? That's insane.
Yeah.
So did you paint that yellow or did you just buff it out?
No, I painted it. I did a lot of research to figure out what people are using for a color match for the year and stuff like that. And I found one that was very, very, very close. And at the end of the day, I wasn't going for showroom quality by any means, but it turned out fantastic. And all my nieces and nephews and everybody else, I had to get it ready for my niece's birthday party. We have a hill by my parents. So I said, I'll get it ready for that. And we got it ready, and they love the heck out of that. That was a highlight to that for sure.
Oh yeah. I had my son Drew riding in mine, and it's just like it's scooching around the whole time. He had a hoot in it though. Yeah. That's cool. Nice work.
Yeah, it's right up there with my 68 for the two that I don't think will ever leave my possession.
Right on. No, I regret selling mine like every day. You know, I totally regret selling it. So hang on to it as long as you can. And my ski boost was pretty much original. Just the windshield wasn't on it, and the yellow ones are hard to find. So
I have the yellow one for mine. I took it off and I have it, but
I would too. I made a template, made a clear one for mine, but I always thought if I ever found a yellow one, I'd pick it up. But anyway, I don't have to worry about that anymore. But so this is a 2018, right? Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep,
I almost bought one of those before I bought my 22, actually. Energy Power Sports.
That's actually right above Marquette, Michigan. Me and one of my best friends. As crazy as it sounds, mine was number 17 off the line, and the one right next to it's number 15 off the line. Both were purchased from Seminar Sports, my dealership and stuff like that. Worked out in our favor to get them both, and we enjoyed having matching sleds up to pretty soon when I get the new one. So you might be a little disheartened about it, but I guess you'll have to get over it.
You'll have to buy a matching sled for it.
Upgrade.
Yeah. You lost your banner from your dealer back there too. It fell down.
I know, I see that.
Jeez.
I might have to fix that in a second or two.
Yeah. But good chat going on too here. There we go. That's another good picture.
That was what was that? Grand Marais Island, just north of what is it? I can't think of the name of the town.
Craig, can you like, are you in the UP or do you trailer up there?
For me?
Yeah.
I trailer. I live in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Well, just east of Green Bay, Wisconsin. So for the trailer, it's usually about a 2 to 3 hour drive north, roughly 2 to 3 to 4, right in there. It depends on where we go exactly. So, but you got to go where the snow is. Sometimes it's not around home. You spend a lot of money on snowmobiles and stuff like that. And you got to do what your passion desires. And mine's snowmobiling. So I drive.
Yeah. That's our story too, right?
Yeah. That's actually that last picture was right on Lake Superior. The sled was literally on Lake Superior.
Oh, right on. Right on. It's nice. The water coming down the rock, and I love shots like that. Right. How many miles did you say is on that now?
7,200 miles.
Yeah, perfect. And here you are not jumping. This is photoshopped.
That was actually, it's crazy. That was a record snowfall for Wisconsin. Mid-April, we ended up getting like 3 feet of snow.
I remember that storm.
Yep. And I had my sled put away, belt off, everything. I'm like, I'm not taking it out. And then all the snow came, and I'm like, well, actually, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm taking it out. So we did everything was closed down for like 2-3 days. So I did a lot of snowmobiling those couple of days, and I may or may not have gotten a little bit of air once or 3 times, maybe 4 times.
What were you jumping off of? Is there a hill there leading up to that, or?
Actually, we one of my neighbors plowed out my parents' house. I was at my parents' house, and they plowed out and they made a little ramp there. And I said, "Oh, that looks good enough for a jump." So I hit it. So see what happens, basically. But that would have been in 2019. That was my first year of the sled. The sled only had about 1,000 miles on it, so. Yeah, it didn't break yet. It's still, it's still here. So
that's what they make them for, is jumping like this. I mean, a lot of people don't put the XRS to the paces. Truth be known, I probably won't either, right? But the it's what you get. So, and here we got your garage and staging area here.
Yep, that was yesterday. You can't really see it. It's a little dark, but Rob is back there. He's shining them up a little bit. He's shining up my 18. So
yeah, you can see it, right?
Yeah, he said it was a 2-beer job, no problem, 2-beer job. So
that's awesome. And then what? This is your trophy cabinet here?
No, that's actually at my dealership. So my local dealership, the one that's literally about 2 blocks away. The one I've gone through for everything, Seminar Sports in Luxembourg, has been, it's actually that big globe they were the national Skidoo dealer, the biggest Skidoo dealer in the early 2000s and stuff like that. And now they're not the biggest anymore. There's definitely bigger Skidoo dealers and stuff like that out there now, but they're recognized as the oldest Skidoo dealership. They've been around. I have it saved here because I I asked my insider there what
Yeah, you said they were the first Skidoo dealer. Are they in the U.S.?
One of the oldest Skidoo. Well, they are the oldest Skidoo dealer in the U.S. right now. But they started in '63 was when they sold their first snowmobiles back in 1963, and in '67 they actually established the dealership as it is today. So they're officially the U.S.'s oldest dealer that is continuously owned. So it's been a family-owned business since their old Leroy, which was the owner, the starter of it, passed. Well, he unfortunately passed away a couple years ago. Basically, the last year of his being around, he actually ordered my 18 and stuff like that, which was really cool. His son took over, and him along with Dino, Paul, David, and Emily, and all the other guys that are in the back that nobody ever sees. They're top notch for vintage questions to new questions to anything like that. They got a heck of a collection too. I mean, they're pushing over 300 vintage sleds on crate. I mean, sleds that are still in crates, sleds that are showroom pieces. It's incredible if you ever saw their collection. They had it out a couple of years ago, and who knows if they'll take it out again, but it's definitely, you got to appreciate the old iron, because you wouldn't be where you are today without the old stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I love there's a newspaper in the cabinet here. It's called the Luxembourg News, and it says Simone's gets first outboard motor from Bombardier.
Yep. They've had a lot of number one sleds, number one everything. I mean, they've been recognizing. I mean, you go in there, the banners they have, the plaques they have is incredible with all the years they've been around and how big they were and everything else like that. They definitely is awesome to go there and just talk history with them. I mean, that's kind of a Friday ritual. I work 410s, with my normal job. So Friday morning, I'm in there just shooting, just talking and whatever. They ask if I need a bed or something. I basically live there, so.
Love it. I love dealerships that have the museum pieces in it, though. That's like that one up north was amazing that we went to in Kirkland Lake. Now, I mean, they could clean it up. I think they are renovating and doing things to organize it better. But you walk in, along the top, there's a shelf and it's got everything on it, like old to new, from Groomers Alpines to Blair Morgans to 50 editions to you name it. And then they took us in the back, like just a shop, like a workshop warehouse thing, and it was just stocked full of sleds. Like there was doubles of everything in there. Yeah, it was pretty nutty. Yeah. Justin, these are yours, buddy.
So this one, with the Panther that's later in the photos here, this was taken across the street at my grandparents' old cottage, because we kind of moved all up and down that road over the last 50 years or whatnot, with different generations and whatnot. This was a 75 Cheetah, and I believe that's my dad and my aunt, and that was brand new at the time. So the picture of my 72 is just a little farther to the right across the road that's facing the lake.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to find a 75. I've tried to track that sled down and I can't find it. So.
Oh, geez, eh? Yeah, it's a shame. Like you've got a good visual of the license number on it too, but
yeah,
it's probably sitting in a scrap heap somewhere. Right?
Yeah, it's probably long gone. But
yeah. Is that your dad there? This picture?
No, that's me.
That's you, right on.
That was me way back when. I'm probably on my 120.
Yeah, cool. With your big scarf and everything,
yeah.
Freezing your nads off, having a riot. Yeah.
Yep, passion's still the same. Even when I was like 6, 7, it's all the same.
Yeah, that's cool. You've grown up with snowmobiles your whole life, though, right? You're born
Yeah,
on one.
I believe my brother was 6 months old on first ride on a sled, and I think I was a year and a half old.
Wow, that's
So
amazing.
we grew up on them, so that was just kind of the way it was.
Yeah, that's neat. This is the Cheetah again, is it, or is your Panther?
Well, this is
That's a
the
Panther.
72 Panther. This was actually this past weekend up at the cottage. So first official ride that's not on dirt. So
Yeah, it looks like you've got good snow there. You packed it down good. So what's in this for a motor?
that is a 340 Kawasaki Fanner.
Nice.
So it's not straight bogey wheels, but it's got the slide rail. That was pretty nifty back in 72, but
Yeah,
the brakes aren't very good. I got to look at them. So I figured that out around the first corner.
There you go. You're off to race Massard with his old iron. And
Yeah, I know. We're going to have to go take a little Townsend loop.
Oh, geez. I don't know if I can beat that cheetah. The cheetah skin in the back on the seat there. I don't know if I can beat that.
I keep telling my wife that that's a 2-up, and we could go for quite a ride on that. But
So you might, I don't know. I'd wait a little bit. She might get pregnant before you go up to Canada. Then
no. Absolutely not.
Maybe you'll get her pregnant at the Sportsman's Lodge.
I'll take a different room.
When we start drinking the full throttles, I'm getting the recipe from Nerona. I'm going to keep bugging them. Yeah. We're going to make our own drinks up there.
So yep, this was also this weekend too. That was my parents' new cottage. They closed on it in like October. So this is the first snowmobile shot at the new cottage. So was super excited to get that. And like I said, that picture of the 75 Cheetah was taken across the street back in 75.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see the evolution, but the sleds still haven't changed. So
no, that's awesome. What a great shot.
So
yeah, I think this is out of order because the next shot probably should have showed first, right?
Oh, no worries. Opening weekend this weekend for hunting in Wisconsin. So my wife, I'm not a hunter, but she is. Don't ask why, but just haven't gotten into it.
Very cool.
So, yep, that was her first buck. She shot that on her parents' land up there, so she was super excited about that.
That's awesome. Good for her. Love it. There she is there.
Oh, there she is.
Happiest day of her life right there.
Yeah. Yeah, she shot some doe. She never shot a buck, so that was good. So we're going to have some nice venison on the way up to Canada is the plan.
Nice.
I love me some hot sticks.
Oh, yeah.
Bring up some jerky and some sticks. Yeah. That's awesome. So good job. That's a 4-point, is it?
Yep. That was just a fork. So.
Yeah, nice. Seen one in the field on the way home the other night, and it was like, oh, geez, if I could just swerve out there to get this one, it would have been a good hit. My buddy goes out hunting all the time and doesn't get anything, and I see them all the time when I'm driving down the road. Yeah. I love this little meme you sent. Grab your shit, it's snowing.
Yep.
That's you yelling at Massard, is it?
That's usually the first weekend of trails opening. It's like, who wants to go? No one. No one wants to go. All right, I'm going.
And then is this the snow outside your window there? This other shot here? That's the gun. There we go.
Yep, that was out of her stand, and that was a really cool picture. So
that's cool.
That.
Very cool.
It couldn't have been long before she shot her deer. So
you must have to be on your best behavior when she owns a 30-06, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does she bow hunt too, or is it just rifle?
She does bow hunt, but she didn't bow hunt this year. She just gun hunted. So I think she's still gonna go out next week or this week, I should say, and try to get a doe or whatnot. But
yeah, she's gonna freak if you guys see the amount of moose we seen last year up in Sudbury.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see.
Yeah, she'll love it up there.
Never seen one in person. I'm excited. I hope I see at least one.
Yeah, Corey was leading the pack, so he's seen them. But we seen the hoof prints and stuff. But I was at the back of the pack, so I didn't see any last year, but he's seen a lot of them. But we tried to wait and see if they'd come out and run us over, but they didn't. But yeah, we might see some. Yeah. Is this your highway here?
This is my photo.
Oh, is it your photo, Chris? So we're into Fast Trac's photos now.
Yep. This photo, I think this was 2012 or 2013. I was going through my phone and found some old goodies, and we were heading up towards Madison because they got some snow in Wisconsin to ride. And my genius friends really helped me navigate. We missed the highway, so I'm like, we'll just take the back roads home. And the back roads were a bloodbath, but we made it through. I'm towing this big 4-place trailer, and we get to it, like we're coming up, and there's a Chevy Malibu stuck in the middle of an intersection. And there's like no room to get around this thing. And we ended up having to cut into the snowbank to get through it. But it was a pretty wild time.
Yeah, I was going to say it was good snow in 2012, 2013.
Yeah, it was a great year.
In Wisconsin. That was probably one of the best years.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are actually getting overexcited about the dumping we're having right now, but not realizing that, you know what, it's just from the warm lake effect. It's not going to really amount to anything, right?
Yeah, no, we still need a little bit more time to freeze everything up and get swamps froze. And
yeah, we have a lot of areas that they haven't got the crops off, so that's causing problems as well.
Yeah.
Everybody gets excited for snow the first time it snows, but you gotta understand the lake's gotta freeze, the swamp's gotta freeze, everything like that, or else you're not gonna have nicer groomed trails, everything like that. So it sucks, but at the same time, it is what it is. Hopefully, you hope for freeze, and then you hope for a dumping.
Oh, for sure.
Here's another classic. This was the 2010 blizzard in that hit southern Wisconsin and Illinois. I was in school at the time, and I saw the weather coming, and I'm like, pretty sure class is going to be canceled. So I zoomed up to do some riding, and there's about 4 to 5 feet of snow on the trail, and we're breaking trail here. It's pretty wild. It's a very crazy time. I'm ready for the next one.
You can see how deep it is. Well, that's the thing. We get those hit and miss. Like I have a drift line near my parents' place. I always go out to. It's probably got drifts now from the snow we just had, so I should probably go check it out tomorrow. But the we get a drift line and it gets like this, and it's just like riding the waves, right? But then you get other years where there's not much snow.
Yeah.
What do you do? And then here's from 2021, some good local trail shots. This was a nice day. It was like -5 Fahrenheit out. And so there's no one riding. There probably was a football game too. So we rode the whole county, put in like 120-mile loop. It was a great day.
That's awesome. This is where the Fast Trac shines, is on trails like this, where it's hard pack and it's firm. It's all set up. Looks like you've got good crisp conditions there. That's where they really shine.
Yeah, there wasn't a bump on that trail.
Where do you do most of your riding, Chris?
I get one trip at least up to the UP, and then if there's local stuff, just because in the season I get so busy that it's hard to take time and go away. So we ride local in southern Wisconsin.
Sweet.
I was going to say, where in southern Wisconsin is Fast Trac at?
We're northern Illinois, but we're about 20 minutes from the border.
Might just have to drive right down to you guys to get the studs.
You got it. Yeah.
We do have free shipping too.
Yeah.
Is there, if people do go, like, can they pick up at your shop? Is there an office there, things to see, like, or are you mainly a mail order type operation?
No, we do local pickup. We don't have any set hours because the manufacturing's in a different location. So it's just kind of where we keep our warehouse, and we spend most of our time at the manufacturing location. But people just reach out and set an appointment. We're happy to meet them there.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, All Terrain TV says Wisconsin doesn't get dumped on too often. Hopefully that's not the case this year.
Mm-hmm.
Then here we are in front of a friend that passed away. He has his own little memorial trail that we had to get a nice sign in front of the show that we had a nice trip.
Nice. That's great. Good way to commemorate him.
For sure.
Oh, I seen you can hardly see the person on the sled way back there.
All right, so this is our Munising trip. This is our trip this year. So this was a very interesting trip. On paper, this trip looked like an absolute disaster, but it's just it was a really good time because we just kept facing these little adversities and big adversities, and we just kept on trucking. So this was a little meadow that we found. Munising has a lot of public land, so you're able to goof around a lot. So one of the riders in our group, he snapped the steering post on his sled about an hour into the trip. And you have to figure a steering post is not a common product that you're gonna, have be stocked. So we tow him back to the bar, and a buddy's asking around, do you know a welder? Do you know a welder? And up there, everyone, is all very tight knit and knows someone that can weld. So yeah, my mom's boyfriend's uncle comes,
bought a dog off a guy that welds. Yeah.
And he was back on the trail in 2 hours.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah.
You gotta love stories like that.
Yeah, and here we are after we towed him back in. Just went to this bar a few too many times at the start of the day. We just feel like we couldn't get the momentum going with the issues, but finally the trip started unraveling and really getting some miles on.
That's awesome. Looks like good snow too. Looks like everyone's having a pit stop break here.
Yep, classic trail pit stop right here.
Yeah, that's cool. Is that your sled in the foreground here? The classic Indy colors?
No, that's a buddy of mine.
Is it? That's wicked. I like the colors.
That's a sharp sled.
Is that custom or did they come from the factory like that?
That was came from the factory like that. That was a 2020 leftover. It's probably the last of the leftovers before COVID decimated all that game. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, a friend of mine used to do that. Buy the Polaris, the leftover Polaris, as you get a really good deal on them, and yeah, you don't get that opportunity anymore.
Nope. Here's Lake Superior.
Sweet. Look at that fault line there too. That's pretty huge. So how far do you like to ride? Do you do, like you said, 120 miles? Like, do you do big saddlebag trips like this, or are you more of the 100 to 200 mile type day rider?
I mean, it's probably like between 100 and 200 is good. I mean, we're not we're just kind of take the day as it comes. This group that I ride with right now, they're not too big in the saddlebagging, but when I rode a lot with my dad, we would start in Wisconsin and ride all the way up to Copper Harbor and do stuff like that. Put on 250 miles a day.
Yeah, for sure. That's Lake Superior again.
Yep.
Nice. Where did Jacob Massard go? Dominator says he's back now, man.
He fixed his deep.
If you have too many of these, you got to get rid of them somehow.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Is this one of the steering column incident?
Yeah. So I don't know where the picture is. So that's actually a sled that broke its steering column. So earlier in the day, so when I put my plugs in, I made sure I didn't want to over tighten them. And apparently I didn't tighten them enough. So I started hearing this noise, like the motor was something was off. So then I get on the trail and all of a sudden, and I thought the engine went down, but the spark plugs just loosened up and popped out. And so that was the first of the spark plug incidents. And then, Mr. Steering Column here, he fouled out his spark plug. So since I had experience with the spark plugs and the Polarises, I had to get in there and change them out for him.
That's you in the red, is it? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk too much smack, but that's a lot of Polaris issues. I don't know.
Yeah,
If Justin, I don't know if Justin will be able to be okay up in Canada.
I'm sure he'll be
You got
fine.
2 Polarises going in your trailer up there. You're gonna have to get used to it.
I'll have to wash it after we're done.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah. His girlfriend knows where it's at, though. She's got the Skidoo on order.
yeah. You get better judgment, but it's all good.
She can park with us. We'll put the Polarises over by the fire pit. Not too close, though. This is a pretty cool structure. What is this?
It's a furnace.
Oh, seriously, like a kiln.
Yeah.
So what they make in there?
The snow was a little too covered up, so I couldn't read the information graphics on it.
Oh, so was it a part of a structure that was in a building at one point, or did they tore?
No,
the
I
building
think
down?
they melted metal in it, I believe.
Yeah, wow.
Was that up in the UP somewhere? Or?
Yeah, it's in the Munising area.
I would assume that it would be iron or something. They got to do a lot of iron up there.
That's wild. Can you ride through it, or does it does it go all the way through? No. See, I'd like to ride through something like that. That's pretty cool.
Get a little Munising you can fit through anywhere.
Good point. Good point.
Picture rocks.
Wow, this is pretty cool. Where's this?
This is right north of Munising. This is called Picture Rocks. It's one of the popular places up there. You can ride up to it, and in a really good winter, you could even ride around the caves and cliffs.
So that rock that we're looking at, right?
Yep.
Is it right there? Can you actually climb out on that? Like, can you go through the trees over here and get to that point, or is it just to look at from afar?
I don't know offhand. I've only gone in wintertime.
There is a trail. It's called the Lower Trail. When you go up there, you get to a big, like, there's a couple buildings and stuff like that, and then a nice little overhang type of deal where you would have took this picture. But you can walk down there. They advise not to during wintertime with all the ice and everything like that. But summertime, there's actually a little hole underneath that rock right at the end there. There's a little hole. That's why it's a very cool place to go during summertime and stuff like that. Fall time, see the colors, everything like that. I mean, there's really no bad time to go up there and look at that area.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, here's me trying to dig the snow off the infographic for the furnace.
Now I see what you mean. But it would have had ice on there too.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Here's the buddy with the classic.
I love that. I love that color. It's like my buddy's RXL is old. I don't know. It was 1970s. I think it was. Had a similar color scheme to it. Really cool.
Yep. They did a nice job with that one.
And they brought it back again, or not that color, but another classic color style for 2023, I think it is. Or it might be the 22s that had it, which I really liked as well.
Yeah, I really enjoy when they put like the classic color scheme on a newer sled. It just really gets that nice feel to it, and all the history behind it.
That retro throwback stuff it's always an eye catcher, and I don't know why OEMs don't do it a little more often.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That the 50 edition would look good in your garage because the yellow with the black stripe on it and stuff. And then the new Blizzard really got me as well. I went that looks so good. And then I seen a Renegade. That's what I did the video on the gauge on, is the Renegade. And that's when I was thinking, I wonder if there's going to be a lot of this yellow out there this year. That might not be a good thing, but we'll see. It is. It's shoot my shot says nostalgic, and that's true too, right? Gets you talking about stories about the sleds you used to own or what you've got in your garage there, and everybody loves it.
Now we're waiting into some customer installs here.
Yeah, that's cool. So this is 2 per window. How do you? What's your thoughts on studs and studding, and how do you know how many to put on your sled?
So back in the day, it's always the old adage of 1 per horsepower, but with all the different track lengths and different window patterns, so we go by amount per window. So like at 600, we're advising like 2 to 3 per win, or like a 2 or a 3 per window pattern. Then once you get up into the higher horsepower stuff, I advise 3 per window. Which like in a 120, that's 126, a 137, that's 144. What other popular sizes? Like a 146, that'd be 153. So
Yeah, pretty cool. Now, have you ever had customers sending pictures and you go and you cringe, going, "Oh, that's not right."
no, but I do. I think with our templates, we keep everyone studying it the right way and doing things right. But I do enjoy going on Facebook Marketplace and just looking at all the used sleds and the stuff that people do to them, where I do shake my head and looking at all the tear outs and all the other various problems.
Put their square backers on like a 45, and it's just shapes.
Yep.
Yeah. No, you're right though. It does. The templates are so like I've used templates before, but not like yours are great. How you cut them, you put them in the window. It's super easy. Yeah, included that pink extra because I was putting duals on, right? 2 up.
Yep.
And you include the pink, the extra pink backer that I could.
Yeah.
Drill out that you use as a. Is that me? I'm back now.
Yeah, you're back.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it makes it so easy. I don't know how you could mess up an installation of Fast Trac stuff because it's almost idiot proof, right?
That's we try to be.
Yeah, that's what I put on mine right here. This same pattern.
And like the experience we want people to have. I mean, studying, putting holes in your track, it can be intimidating. Especially if it's your first time doing it. And we just try and make it as smooth and as calm. And we have a 17-minute install video that goes over every nitty gritty detail and just really make it easy for the people to do it. And even when you go on our site, we have the recommendations that show you exactly what you need for your snowmobile. And we really take care of the step process from, considering studying all the way to, putting the studs in your track.
Yeah, for sure. And then also too, like mine had 14 different positions where the studs shift a little bit each one. You can see it in this photo here. Every stud's a little offset from another. So you get that all the scratches. So maximum contact on the ice. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. But by the way, we do this, it's templates. Most people, they think like 6 rows, and to ship something like that's a pretty big pain. By being able to print them out and just laying them on your track, we're able to do exactly the most perfect template possible and the most scratch lines possible.
Yeah. Scott Terry says, is that red backer shown here close to the Skidoo Spartan red or the lava red?
I'd probably be closer to the Spartan red.
Yeah, right on. Do you have, someone asked earlier if you have anything to match that new Skidoo berry color that's on the gray XRSs? Do you have that yet? It's kind of a berry, like it's.
That's that Spartan.
Is that Spartan red? Is it? It's like a burgundy.
I thought that's what they were classifying that as. I'm not sure 100%. But
yeah, more of a maroon almost.
It's then in that case it'd be closer to lava red. Spartan red's more of a burgundy, and we haven't waded into that.
That's what that is, and I don't know. I saw one in person.
Yeah.
I went black for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just because with the whole lime color, it takes a lot of work and time and testing to get a color right. So we generally don't try and wade into the more fringe colors. We stick with the popular colors, and lime is kind of stuck around. So we kind of jumped into that.
Yeah. There you go. What? How many kilometers or miles? I guess how many miles would you say if you're going to stud your track? Should you be changing your track out? Like, do tracks break down rubber wise that type of thing. When you see people with the tear outs and things like that, is that because their tracks just kind of gotten over miles, or is there other reasons?
I mean, the main reason that you're going to have a tear out in your track is the stud came loose, and aluminum background, aluminum nut, they tend to like to fight each other, where our product, we don't have that issue of coming loose because, one, we don't have a shoulder on the stud, which you'll probably see in a couple of photos. And two, our unbelievable polymer also compresses, and it has like a memory to it. So it's also pushing back onto it. So not only do you have the lock nut or the Loctite, if you got a taller nut, keeping it tight, you got the backer pushing against it and preventing it from turning too. So that's probably the main step. The second step is, the aluminum, Justin mentioned earlier with the square backer turning, that, due to looseness, if you don't capture that or you tighten it crooked, you're going to be putting extra stress. So you kind of want to even out the extra force that the stud's facing. And we say, as far as track longevity, about 5,000 miles, a single ply track might be starting to show issues, and then probably 10,000 on a 2-ply track.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Does Fast Trac make carbides too?
We do not at this time. We always recommend our buddies at Triple Point / Bergstrom Skeggs. They're our Canadian dealer, and we run their product, and you can't beat the Triple Points.
Yeah, and you can get the Fast Trac product studs from them as well.
Yep.
Yeah, Clark's a dealer for that too, so that's great. Yeah, but the color, you do have a lot of colorways, and it's neat. Like I expect you'll probably have the Spartan Red next year or the year after, but for now you've got tons of colors to choose from. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we've even had a customer, he bought white backers, and he used RIT dye and dyed the backers to the exact color he wanted. And I don't know the longevity or how they held up, but it was pretty interesting to see. They looked great when he put them on. I haven't seen any pictures afterwards though, but
so it's not like he painted them, he dyed them, so they're actually stained.
Yeah, he dyed them.
Color.
Yep.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, because paint wouldn't last long, So, here's a good shot of the template laid into the track.
Yeah, it is a slick template.
It is really good. And you can see they've used a pink paint marker or something I used a silver Sharpie on mine. So you just punch those holes out and lay it on the track, and you just dab the marker in the open holes, and then you can remove the template and get your tool. That little tool that you give away with the coupon code SNOW is amazing. It pops through that track like butter.
Yeah, and we actually brought a marker into the install kit this year. We got rid of the little Allen wrench or the Torx wrench, and so you get a nice white marker to mark the track, and so you get the install kit, and you got everything to do the job.
Sweet, that's cool. And you know what? Your garage smells like someone was doing burnouts in it after you run that tool for an hour or so. It's amazing.
You know that smell too well.
It's awesome. Yeah. So this is the templates all laid out here. After it looks like it's after the pink marker job was done there.
Yep.
How many? So you have pretty much a template for every track and every stud combination. Is that correct? How many? How many do you have in total? Do you know?
I think I'm at over 80. I know, and there's a few of them that I don't publish. So some people like to run the 2-3 pattern to kind of skimp down on the amount of studs, but we just try and stick away from that just because the pattern is just so unbalanced. It's just impossible to keep something like that straight. So we're always 2-3, but I do, and then some people like to run 4 per center with the double backers, and we have some patterns for that. I mean, really, even people tracks with older stuff where our published templates don't match up, they send us dimensions, and we create a custom template for them. I mean, whatever you think, we can do it.
That's cool. And there's shows you how good that green matches to the Arctic Cat. That's
Yeah, the
slick.
green spot on.
Yeah, that is really slick. What do you find people order color more than they order the black, or what's your thoughts on that?
I'd say it's probably, I mean, black's probably the biggest single color, but I mean, overall, their color outweighs the black for sure.
Yeah. And again, it's not a plastic collar on that. It's actually polymer. So it's super strong. It's got a really neat feel to it. Like it's different.
Yeah, there's nothing else like it out there.
Yeah. Now, this one here has studs put in the outer band of the track. I always heard that's a weak area to put studs. What's your thoughts on that?
It is a weak area, and we don't recommend it unless you're a more advanced rider that that has throttle discipline, because really most of the issues you're going to have if someone's getting on the throttle in low snow conditions or on pavement is where most of the issues come from. But if you're a rider that really likes to stick that track down and eliminate all sway, outside windows, wear the stud.
Yeah, nice. Is this a drag sled we're looking at here, or is this someone did this for the trail?
No, this is a trail sled. My dad, he really likes to stud the outside. I keep it down the center, but they do hook up really good.
Yeah, he's got 4 per window here. He's got 4 in the center, and he's got 4 evenly spaced to the outsides, and then he goes 4 in the center again and keeps repeating. It's pretty cool. It looks wicked. It looks wicked. Is your father a pretty aggressive rider? Is he?
Yeah, he is.
I was going to say my 2 per row hooks up really well. I can only imagine how 4 per row hooks.
It likes to go straight more than.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I had to switch to 3 per row because I had a 2 per row on the one behind me, and I was bending the studs.
And people really don't understand, like when you add more studs to it, so going from 2 to 3 per row, you're going to reduce the amount of force those studs have by 33%. And that's a big margin. Mm-hmm. And so that's why we, on the taller stuff, we always recommend 3 per row, because it's just an inherently weaker stud because it's got more leverage on it. But that's why we always go based on horsepower, is just to really spread the load. And if you're 850 and 2 per row can be a recipe for bending.
Yeah, that was a big issue I had. We were on a trip, and I noticed a couple of them were starting to loosen up, and I had there's a different style of stud. I won't name them or anything like that on there right now, but honestly, I was not too happy with how they were loosening and everything else like that. So I like the fact that yours, like you said, that plastic has a kind of a buffer to double up on the locking nut on the stud itself and everything like that, to really make sure that those studs don't loosen up. As you start loosening up, they start flopping around, and next thing you know, you got some green fluid on the ground and end of a weekend.
Yeah, it's most of where the damage comes from. And another thing about the beautiful thing about the polymer backer is, so it's engineered, so it doesn't have any give on ice or hard pack, but you come into a rock, which we all know, trail riders, there's nasty stuff laying under the snow. You get into that situation where you make contact with that, the backer will absorb some of that blow, and where if you have a straight aluminum situation, it's either going to, if you ever put an aluminum in a vise backer and crack it, it doesn't want to give to the very end. And when it, that's where you get the bending, or it sends all of that energy straight into the track, which is not what you want.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah. And it's not hard plastic. Like the polymer is you can feel it's different in it, and it would have some give to it. And I guess that's why it kind of acts like a little lock washer too, right? Because it is compressed and pushing back up on that nut to give it some force there. And this looks like my track did at the end of the season, where you could tell the studs were ridden, but there's nothing bent and out of shape, or, everything looked new. 3009.5 clicks and it looked just like this.
Yeah, that's another beautiful thing about it. I mean, you go to sell a snowmobile and you either have rust magnets or you have stuff that looks like it's straight off the showroom floor. I mean, which money are you gonna get more for? The sled that looks super clean or a little bit of rust?
Yeah,
Can't give any of these buyers any excuse.
no, that's true. That's true for sure. Yeah, they clean up so nice. You know, I've ridden in everything, salty roads, and you know, it'll make everything look like crap. Even sitting in your trailer after the season with some condensation, anything metal that can get corrosive, it will. And those studs look like brand new.
Here's another aggressive pattern here. This went on an assault, so this has got 204 studs on a 1.6 Cobra.
Oof.
And that's the 1625. So you're running the taller nut with that stud.
Right. What's your thoughts on length of stud? Because there's a big debate. You see it on social media all the time. You know, like 1.25 inch, 1.375, and everyone's going, we're on 1.5 on it. You know, like what's your rule?
Sure. For every recommendation, we're recommending 3/8 over the lug.
Hard and fast rule on that.
3/8 over the lug is where we always stick. That's the perfect spot for traction and longevity. Anytime you go over that longevity, you're gonna get more traction, but longevity is gonna start to degrade. I know a lot of the turbo guys, like they like to run on an 1.25 inch. They like to run the 1.5s because you pay all that money and they don't mind replacing stuff if they bend anything. But anything over that starts getting a little goofy, and we see all sorts of horrible recommendations online. And all we do is we shake our head and we say, I hope they're not buying our product.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Gary, what do you run for penetration?
1.325 on a 1.25.
Okay. Because on my 135, I run a 1.5. But with that Cobra track, it's such a weird track that they kind of say to stud it like a 1.25 versus a 135. But there was a lot of debate on that.
The Cobra has the taller paddle in the middle, right?
So the Cobra's got these goofy little
here.
nubs on top.
I'll put you big. Hold on.
All right.
There we go.
So the Cobra's got nubs on top of these lugs. So the lug's actually 1.5 inch lug on this 1.6 Cobra, but they count these nubs as the 1.6. So that's why we recommend treating it like a 1.5 or a 1.25. But we see plenty of people studying that track with a 1.5 just because, you know, they see they've been used to the way studs have been measured forever, and they just assume, okay, it's a 1.35 lug, but in reality, it's not really.
Yeah.
No, true.
Yeah, I went back and forth on that when I picked studs on my sled last year, and I just said, screw it. I did the 1.5s, and I mean, knock on wood, I haven't had any issues yet, but you never know. They're studs, so anything could happen.
Yeah, it's a game of odds for sure.
Yeah.
Another good close-up shot of that polymer backing and the stud. And this is what I had on there too with the shorter nut on it. What length do you start where you have to put the higher collar nut on it?
So this is our 1 inch stud here. And so the 1 inch and the 1075 stud have the lower backer. Once you get into the 1175 and the 1375, you're putting the taller backer with the small nut on it. Then once you get into the 1.5 and up, we start running the taller nut.
On a flat backer, or would it be on the taller backer like I had?
The taller backer.
Yeah. Yeah, this is right. My backer had a shoulder on it where this one doesn't. Yeah. There's what I had right there. You can see the difference if I just go back. The nut is right on the backer here, and then you can see here where the nut's sitting up a little bit higher.
Yep, there's a good shot of our templates here.
Yeah. It makes it so easy. This is one thing I think a lot of people overlook too. And one of the things I noticed right away when I was putting my studs in was how flush the stud goes into the track. because it's so thin. The little backer on the actual stud itself is so thin. It just pushes nice and flush, and then you don't have your idler wheels chipping away at it in the ice and everything like that.
Yeah, it's something that really gets overlooked, and there's a couple of things that allow the stud to sit so flush into the track. First is the thin profile head, so our head is not overly sized because there's not a whole lot to gain by having a thick head. And then second, the stud doesn't have a shoulder on it, so the backer doesn't, like everyone else's, the backer will bottom out on the stud, and that's where you get your torque spec. But we don't do that. We just say suck the thing flush. You're going to have a nice even compression to it, and it's not going to come loose because of our combination of the track compressing and the backer.
So like for guys installing it and stuff like that, they could just grab like a little 3/8, say Milwaukee impact driver or whatever. And I don't want to say hammer it home because those things can definitely get up there, but basically just enough to get it flush on the backside, make it look nice. And usually that's all you're going to need. You don't actually have to worry about like 35 foot-pounds, you know?
No,
exactly.
That's what I did with mine is I just had my little Milwaukee and just, you get a feel for it and it goes right up in. And as long as I want to rub my hand on it, it was compressed in like that and you're home. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. And we actually don't recommend hand tightening them because these backers, they like that hard, fast impact of the nut sucking them flush. Because the problem is, since there is no shoulder on it, if you start hand tightening them, you're never going to get that tight feel to it because you're just sucking the thing into a polymer. But if you do it with the impact, it faces that resistance and you're home. And I like to just have an eye on the track and just kind of go underneath and tighten it right up, and works perfect. And you don't have to go back and do your foot-pounds with the torque wrench or any of that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got buddies that are homers for doing that. I'm like, nope, it's all by feel.
Yep.
And so this is our taller nuts, the Top Gun tall nuts here. So some really cool factors. The only thing that kind of sucks about the nut is it's not a lock nut, but you use Loctite on it. But so it's going to have a stronger bond than a lock nut. And if you actually look at a lock nut, the very top, you're going to be losing thread. So an equivalent 3/4 inch nut compared to ours, you're going to have more strength with that nut. And then it's also tapered, so you're not going to be hindering penetration. And we do own the patent on that. So that's the only reason you can find ours like that. Nice.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Scott Terry was asking, do you recommend Loctite? And you don't have to use Loctite on the shorter ones. It's just these ones with that don't have the crown nuts on them.
Correct.
The lock nut.
And at the end of the day, I mean, it probably wouldn't hamper it at all if, say, you did put a little Loctite on it for assurance type of deal. If you didn't want it to back out type of deal, it wouldn't hamper those short ones at all, would it?
No, it would not. But we haven't really ever seen an issue with that. So, I mean, if we're very cautious, we never recommend anything that we don't have confidence in. And if we didn't have confidence in the lock nut, we'd definitely recommend it. But it's never been an issue.
No, it's true. What on the taller nuts that we've seen on the previous ones, is it the blue or the red Loctite that you use?
We always go for keeps and recommend red.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Can I change my stud pattern, not have to worry about holes in my track?
Once the stud pattern's in, it's there's ways to do it where you can, let's just say if someone came to us and said, hey, I want to do 2 per row, but I want the option of a 3 per row, we would just have them use the 3 per row and just eliminate that sole stud. So you just have 2 studs on each side. But if it's an already existing pattern, it gets pretty difficult as far as keeping it safe and in the best spot of the track and use scratch lines. So we always encourage people think about this decision hard and do it right from the start.
Yeah, true. And Max Brown had asked us earlier too, how about the new R-rated track? Have you got a solution for that?
Just our regular Top Gun 2. It's with these tracks, if you look at a single ply and a 2-ply track, you'll never know the difference. So there's more fiberglass cords in the R. So it's kind of like a tire. You wouldn't know the difference by looking at it. they'll just be a super strong track and last a very long time and be able to take the abuse. So no real changes you have to do from the consumer standpoint.
Nice. There you go, Max. And then here we got yellow, red, green, and blue. What other colors do you offer? You said white, black,
white, orange, gray. Looking here,
For
purple,
silver?
pink.
Nice.
Yeah, the gray's got it. I mean, you can consider our gray silver. It's got a nice kind of shine to it.
Perfect.
And this
Another
is
good-
just the bread and butter, the Ripsaw 1 1.25 inch with the 1375 stud in it. Probably the most popular combo out there.
Yeah, is that what mine had last year? It was an 1.25 inch Ripsaw.
It's an 1.25 inch Ripsaw. I don't know if there's a 1 or a 2 offhand. I'd have to see a picture
Yeah,
of it.
I can't remember. Yeah, I should have put my picture in here, but yeah.
And then here we got the single ply and the 2-ply. Single ply, you want more surface area because there's less strength in the track. So that's just the difference there between the two. On paper, it looks kind of like a small difference, but you get them together and next to each other, it's fairly pronounced.
It is. It's a big difference, especially when you look at the polymer backer. It's quite a bit bigger.
Yep. And here's what really hammers home like the beauty of a small or a thin profile head and the polymer backer, just how different it sits in the track versus aluminum with a thick head. So you basically got a tiny little curb biting into the track versus just a nice even compression. Like we say, we want to integrate into the track and be very friendly with the track. We don't want to play that damage it in any possible way.
That's the thing. It looks like the one on the left, the competitor stud, that you're actually cutting into the track too much. Will that weaken it?
I mean, I haven't done any tests. I don't have any facts based on that, but it can't be good over longevity, displacing the rubber from how it's naturally is for that long over many thousands of miles.
Yeah, I can't see that being good. All Terrain TV says, do you sell picks or just carbide trail studs? Definitely seem to be the best trail studs around. I wish someone didn't screw up with his track.
I mean, we have a handful of race picks. It's from older production stuff. We haven't produced any race stuff for probably 10, 15 years. But if just let us know what exactly you're looking for. Or anything an inch and smaller, we have push through. We got some T-nut stuff. I don't know if I have it listed anywhere. We used to have an eBay store. I believe it's still active. It might be on there. I haven't seen an order come through there in a zillion years, but we'll take a look for you.
Yeah. And yes, Max, they do sell in Canada. You can order right on their site and they'll ship right to us.
Yep, Canada or Clark. Both are great options.
Yeah,
I was going to say, going back to the 1-ply versus 2-ply studs, do you see people run the 1-ply stud in a 2-ply track just for that wider surface area?
We do. It's not super common, but we do see it. Do I try and sway anyone to it? No, I think our Top Gun 2, it's the biggest 2-ply head out there. It's really kind of unnecessary, and we don't really have any issues. I mean, I just comb Facebook Marketplace looking at tracks just because to see how everyone else's handles, and I've yet to see a pull out from ours.
Right on. Trevor Moore says he put 204 studs in his Assault 146. Do you have a recommendation for carbides?
Yeah, I mean, I'd go back to the 8-inch triple points would probably be the ticket there. That's what I run in my Assault, and it turns like a dream. It's not high effort. I remember I had a 06 Dragon that had real long carbides on. The steering was really heavy, but it's not a problem at all.
There you go.
Oh, that's close to the combination I'm going to have to put on my sled here.
Yeah, this is what I did, 3 per window and alternate them all the way. It's pretty great.
Yeah. Anyone that calls, I always put them on this setup. It hooks up so nicely and it looks great. Well balanced. You can't beat it.
back to this is your mountain trip, I think, right?
Yeah, I've got a handful of mountain trips. I don't want to dive deep too into it because we went pretty heavy in it last year. But this is top of Vail Pass. It's kind of a crummy riding area, but they got some good views.
Wow. Colorado, right?
Yep.
Look at the Rockies.
And this is Togety, looking at the Grand Teton right there, dead ahead. This is my personal favorite riding spot. How
often do you get up in the mountains riding?
It used to be more common, but between the business being so busy and the kid, it's tough.
Oh, I know. I hear you. And you snow bike it, or this is just someone that was up there?
This was from my adventure a couple of years ago when I built the snow bike. This was Vail Pass as well. But yeah, it is a really fun thing to do. I'm really curious about the widescape because it seems like they took everything that sucks about a snow bike and eliminated it. But
that's awesome. Yeah, the widescape, I can't wait to ride one. It looks like a riot. Yeah, the problem with the dirt bikes in the snow is you look at the thing wrong and it's got some maintenance that you have to do to it. Yeah, true. Well, and I like the fact that if you fall off, it's easier to get on the widescape. That's for sure. Yeah, definitely. Did you build this? Did you build this when snow bikes were just starting on the scene, or is this a really early adopter? I'd say probably, when it's starting to get popular. So I built it. It was a 2017, so I put together in 2016. Sweet. So it's fairly refined sport, but it's not at the point that it's at today. But this is a picture in Rabbit Ears Pass. It's a much better riding area than the Vail Pass area. We went there. We had friends staying in Beaver Creek, so we stayed a couple days in Vail, rode that, and then we cruised up to Steamboat and rode Rabbit Ears Pass, and that terrain there was unbelievable. Right on. Why do they? We've heard of Rabbit Ears Pass on here before as well. Why do they call it Rabbit Ears Pass? There's a rock formation at the top that looks like a pair of rabbit ears. Oh, sweet. Gotta get me a picture of that next time. Got some house cleaning here to do too from Paul. He gives us a $5 super sticker. Thank you so much, buddy. Don't know if my sound effect's gonna work since my sound went to crap, but how's it going? He gives us a little picture of a guy waving with a how's it going sticker. I love it. Thank you. Look at that shot out the airplane window. Wow. That's incredible. I don't know if that doesn't get you excited. I don't know what will. Oh, nice. Is that where you ended up riding? It's close. I mean, that's when the plane was getting pretty low down there. So I don't know exactly how far it was from the riding spot, but sweet, right there. This was it's deep. Yeah, it's deep. Yeah, look at the roofs of the cabins. There's like 3-4 feet. The 2020 pre-COVID Togety trip, and we hit it right. I've hit it right only a couple times going out west, and this was one of them. Oh, lucky dog. Love it. All right, so whose rig's this? So this is the fun. I was a Skidoo guy I was a Skidoo guy for 7 years, but I was a Skidoo guy from about March till a couple weeks ago. So Skin's protective gear, they decided to shut down shop, and they ran a big auction on all their equipment, and they had some sleds that they built stuff for, but they never rode them. So they had a Skidoo 2017 Skidoo Renegade 850, 29 miles on it for sale, and the auction was not getting a lot of attention. So I threw a bid out there, and lo and behold, I win the bid. So the fun part was they're based out of Arizona, and you call up these transport companies and trying to get a sled come from Arizona, you might as well be speaking Chinese. Yeah, yeah. Because all of a sudden my really good deal started looking to a really crappy deal. I even had one guy quote me $4,000 to transport it. Oh no.
And the harsh thing is, it was an auction. Like if I had a few more weeks, I could time it out and get it home for a really nice price. But I found these guys, and I wouldn't say they're reasonable, but they still gave me enough margin for the flip to make it a good deal.
Nice. That is a huge trailer that they're bringing it in. What else was in that when they came to you? Did they have cars in it?
No, it could hold cars, but there's a couple Can-Am Spiders on it.
Oh, sweet.
The guy handed me the card. He's like, I run this route all the time. If you ever need me to transport a snowmobile again, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to ever be transporting a snowmobile from Arizona again.
Lesson learned. I looked at an auction in BC one time for a sled, and there's a trucking company fairly close to mine that has offices, satellite offices for their terminals, I guess they're called, for their trucking in across Canada. So they would have hauled it back for me if I got rid of the oil and fuel out of it and stuff, right? But I ended up winning the auction at all. But it wasn't that all that terrible. But we didn't have toll roads or anything like that to deal with. But there it is, 29 miles.
Yeah, I wanted to crate it, like take the skis off and put it in there, but unfortunately the guy called me back as far as crating it goes after I already booked it. And since it's an auction, you have to get it out of there at a certain, within a week, or else you start getting penalized. And this is like 2 weeks before my daughter's born. I spur of the moment buy this thing. So I just, not enough stress was happening at the time, so I decided to buy a snowmobile.
Hey, if the deal's right?
Hey, it's either, I invest the money in the stock market or I invest the money in the snowmobile. And
snowmobiles are
really good right now.
Yeah, I agree.
New investment firm.
So is that it right there? Yeah, that's skins.
Yeah.
Protected.
Yeah,
nice.
It was tricked out. It had like $4,500 worth of extras on it. So it had box float 3s up front, custom front end. So it's got all spindles, and A-arms are all custom. If I didn't sell it, I wasn't going to be sad.
No, custom wrap. There you go. And it had no studs by the look of it in it when you got it.
No, it came with an 1 3/4 track, which you could stud. But if I had it, I kept it. I also have a show track 1 1/4 ripsaw for it too that I could have put on it. So I had options on if I decided to stay with it.
Yeah, nice. And then what happened? Did someone hear about it and wanted to buy it from you, or you just you thought you'd flip?
Being I knew the sled, I knew the market, I knew that I could make some decent money on it, so I bought it as a flip and threw it on the old Facebook Marketplace. And I tend to have a pretty good knack with the Facebook Marketplace and moving stuff through that. So it launched about on the 5th of November, so about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yep. And is it gone, or is it still sitting there waiting to be picked up?
It's gone.
Right on. I do.
Max
Brown said, "What did you pay for it?" Max Brown wants to know.
So
can you tell?
Yeah, I can tell. It's looking really, really nice. I won the auction at $6,500, but I ended up being like $8,100 after the fees, and then I had to pay a pretty penny to get it transported. But I ended up making like 30% on it, so
nice.
Well worth it.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, you're getting there, right? The auction fees are the things that kill you, right?
Yeah, and I had to pay sales tax on it, which really didn't make a whole lot of sense, being it's a snowmobile and I'm not registering it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's right too, right?
Yeah.
So where can people find you? I mean, fasttrac.co, fasttrac.co. Use the coupon code SNOW if you're purchasing some product from them, and make sure the toolkit's added in the cart as well. Because I had some people reach out to me and go, I couldn't see that I could get the discount or the free tools, and they just didn't have it in their cart. Was the problem?
Yeah, I know. It's unfortunately it's something that I can't fix. I'd love that if you just type in the code and the thing pops in there, but
yeah,
we're limited by technology a bit on that end. But on Instagram, we're at Fast Trac Studs, and then Fast Trac Traction on Facebook. social media has been a little quieter, but we're working on bringing some life to that. Making it a good time.
That's cool. And Wisco Sledheads, you can follow him on Instagram, and Jacob Massard, J Massard 850, Instagram, Facebook, and all that good stuff too. So look those two guys up as well.
See a little bit of Canada.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to having you guys up too. It's going to be a good time, man.
Yeah, we still got to talk. We got to figure out what day we're going up. If we're going to go up Thursday or Thursday night or what we're doing yet. But
yeah,
at this point, I don't even care. I'm just going to take off work and whatever happens.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, for sure. I'll know as soon as Drew gets a school schedule if he's got a lab on the Thursday, but hopefully we can get up there on the Thursday because it'll be a good time for sure. So if anyone has any other questions for Chris, just fire them off in the chat and we'll take care of them. But I'll just go through these here and see if we missed anything, but I don't think we did. Lots of good questions popping up here and there. But yeah, and you can even comment on this video if you need to. Did you have anything else you wanted to add, or we can cut you loose?
No, I think we covered it all. I really appreciate the time and having me on here, Gary. I'll have to co-host for you sometime too. Yeah, you can. That'd be great. We'll make sure we get a good guest lined up for that as well. But yeah, thank you for your support for the show. I really appreciate that. And thanks for coming on, sharing some of your stories and adventures with us. And thank you to the two clowns below us as well. We're going to have
to work with what you got, man. Got to work with what
for sure. Yeah, Bobby O says, thanks for another great show, Gary. Happy Turkey Day, boys. Yeah, that's coming up. We got Black Friday this weekend, and away we go. So, yeah, good night. Cooley says,
overindulging this weekend and stuff I probably shouldn't be, but oh well.
Yeah, for sure. Do you guys have a Black Friday sale, Chris, or you do anything like that coming up?
We don't do anything goofy. Our prices are already very competitive to begin with, but we do, every stud kit gets a free install toolkit, regardless if you use the code SNOW or not. So that's what we do for Black Friday. We'll keep it simple. You don't even have to add it to the order. We just throw it in.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. There you go. Use the code, though, so he knows you've seen it here. Make sure you share the love. And away we go. But I'll roll the credits now. Thank you, everybody. Thanks you, all the fans, for watching. And hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and we will catch you next Monday with Dayco Performance Belts. That's going to be a good show too. I talked to those guys at the Toronto show, and they were a hoot. So we're gonna have some really good time with those boys.
It's a journey.